As we know that we are going to be primarily in the next 15 minutes, we would like to really take you upon how we would like to have a 360-degree patient plan, and primarily it was given to me as to get it right from the beginning. So patient safety is basically the reduction and mitigation of unsafe acts within the healthcare system, as well as through the use of best practices shown to lead to optimal patient outcomes. That's what is the patient safety definition. Now, improving patient safety primarily doesn't mean reducing medical errors, but primarily it means reduction of patient harm primarily. Safety culture over a period of years has actually changed a significant paradigm shift. From the old shift was that who did it rather than the blame game effect, to the new plan which is going to be what exactly happened. Rather than focusing on a bad event, look or focus on a near miss so that you can probably prevent an adverse event from occurring. From a root cause analysis to an FMEA, which we need to try, it is rather than a top-down process, it should be probably started as a bottom-up, because the bottom number of people are more. So more they are trained, the more they are basically given the idea, that probably transmits to the other people also. And rather than punishing bad behavior, we should rather look at fixing the broken processes and trying to improve the quality process. At the background, why do we need a patient safety plan? Do we really need it? So basically the history goes to almost an article which was published to Air is Human by Cohn et al. In 1999. And another paper which came from the Canadian Adverse Event Study by Baker et al. From 2004 suggested after that there has been a significant emphasis on patient safety with the resulting literature which is related to patient safety processes, standards. Gradually the goals and practices have been started. In US, primarily the patient safety plan per se is now conducted from 2005 onwards, and every single university has got a primary plan for that particular year, or a 2-year plan or a 4-year plan which is primarily devised. Now the objective is obviously, primary objectives are going to be to provide a framework for defining quality and performance improvement opportunities, implementing the actions and obviously evaluating the results, and to provide a brief insight about the organization-wide performance improvement and obviously patient safety initiatives if we have any. And a primary component of a patient safety plan is actually an overlap between an integrated quality framework and an integrated risk management plan. Combining it together with multiple processes together is what a patient safety plan looks like. And when we are talking about a 360-degree approach, obviously I'll be covering across the board is that obviously from the patient entry to the treatment which occurs either in the hospital, wards, ICU, intensive care, operating room, and from where the patient goes discharged and again comes for follow-up in the hospital. These are all a complete compendium of the 360-degree approach. So to start off, primarily always, as we know, patient safety protocols always start at the entry gate. A patient obviously enters the hospital either at the reception, at the registration counter, or at the ER or the emergency department. Very important is at the entry gate we have obviously the scanners. Similarly, we have somebody sitting on the registration who visually identifies patients who are vulnerable, patients who are weak, patients who really need support immediately at the hospital entry points. At the receiving end, obviously we have some mobility aids like the wheelchairs or the trolleys and the other things by which the patient can be immediately transported to the respective areas. And obviously it starts primarily the fall risk assessment at the reception itself, where we ask either a history of fall, any mobility aid required, and obviously people may have a hearing, vision, or a communication deficit. Another very, very important thing is it should be visually applicable. If a person is going to come to the OPD, a GRO or a housekeeping staff or a nursing staff, before even a clinician sees the patient in the OPD, you should be aware that you know what we need to do. So the very important thing is what we try and do is a patient safety first algorithm, where we have a sticker which is attached at the patient's body, and all 4 fall prone patients probably are identified. Anybody identifies it, puts in the sticker and probably transport the patient. Counseling of the patient and attendants is done. A priority based approach in the OPD is being taken care of, and obviously ensuring the presence of lock movable transfer, obviously, so that there is no injury during transport. This is in brief of the patient fall statistics in 2012 and 2013 that we had at our institute. And definitely by applying these particular practices, we have definitely brought down the patient fall statistics. Barcode registration, we have 2 patient identifiers which are extremely essential according to the national patient safety goals. One of them is the patient's full name and the first name and the last name, and an MRN or a medical record number, which is important. And obviously we have a barcoded ID band which is important.